Okay, good afternoon. So while waiting for the others to come in, so I will just start since we have limited time, and this is just a continuation of our previous topics on banana production. So last time we discussed on the different fertilization and different fertilizer application guide for lakatan production and banana as a whole, and also the deficiency symptoms of the different nutrients now for in the case of banana. So to continue, we have also other cultural practice that include um, sucker control or desuckering. So what is desuckering? It's the regular removal of suckers to maintain the appropriate density, no, and to avoid overcrowding and to avoid also um, um, pests and diseases. So it will reduce water, light, and nutrient competition for maximum production. And you just have to remove the suckers using the suckering tools to facilitate easy separation from the mother plant and prevent damage of the rest of the sucker or follower. So when we say followers, these are less than 1 meter and they are unwanted peepers or water and floating suckers. So this should be removed since they don't have good growth, and you have to maintain at least 3 plants per month with a ratio ng 1:1. So for the mother plant, the follower, and the sucker for the dessert type of banana. And also for the cooking type of bananas, we have a ratio 1:2 and 2. So another, aside from sucker control or desuckering, we also have the leafing. No? And for the leafing, it should be done when 50% of the leaves are functional. For example, um, if 50% are already um, of the leaves are already drying, so you can um, actually remove the leaves, and this can be done at 2 to 3 times per month, and removal of dried leaves should be done to reduce inoculum or source of leaf diseases, and of course improve light penetration. So removal of the dried leaves should be done also by trimming the leaves and disposing properly or pile them in between rows as source of organic fertilizer. So, and aside from the leafing, we also have stem or mat sanitation. So, when we say mat, it means the whole group of the banana mother plant and with all over its suckers. So, it's done to eliminate the habitat of some insect pests and cut the dry leaves sheet at monthly interval and pile them in between rows and as a source of mulching materials during dry period and source of organic fertilizer rather. So those are some of the cultural practice for banana, and once after about 6 to 8 months after planting or more for those other types of banana, you have to do also virus fruit care that includes bud removal or debudding. So it is the removal of the male bud or the male flower when the false hands appear. So if you notice, there could be like 6 to 8 hands per bunch. And when the last hand appears or yung false hand na yung walang laman, you can already remove the male bud. So ito yung ginagawa nating gulay, no, for Cavendish, for Cardava banana. But not so much on Cavendish kasi masyado siyang maraming phenolic compounds or dagta. So this will prevent the infection of the cigar end rot and the bugtok disease of banana. So kaya natin tinatanggal yung bud. So another one is the bunch spray. Or you can start spraying bunch when 1 or 2 hands appear at weekly interval up to the removal ng male bud. So this is done to control spots, freckle disease, and insect pests of banana that cause damage and injuries to the fruits. So the third one is propping. This prevents the bunch from toppling down due to heavy bunch weight and strong wind. So you can use bamboo poles and set the props in slanting with X position on the top in line with the peduncle base to have stronger support of the bunch. So minsan, especially if it's since yung banana natin is just shallow rooted, so we really need to prop them para hindi matumba, especially pag maulan o kaya may bagyo. And the next one is deflowering or removal of the styler end. So the styler end or the flower relics at bagging stage or during packing operation should be removed for phytosanitary consideration. So magiging source na naman siya ng inoculum, no? And lastly, the fruit bagging. Bagging the bunch should be done when the last hand appear again to protect the fruits from pest damages and injuries. So usually we use a perforated polyethylene plastic bag, leaving the bottom end uncovered to prevent yung accumulation ng any flower release, and we can tie a ribbon at the bottom end of the bunch as an index of maturity. So yun yung parang a sign niya or indication. So for harvesting practice naman, this is also another important aspect in banana production since the quality of our banana depend on the proper stage of maturity and the methods used at harvest. So all of them will really affect on the quality of our banana. So this is also a sign of minimum acceptability for mature consumers. And so the maturity index is an indication of the fruits if it is ready for harvest. So this varies also depending on the type of cultivar, depending also of the target of the market, no, whether for local or for export, especially if it's for Japan, for Europe, or for US. So fruits harvested immature are of poor quality upon ripening, so that's why kailangan you should harvest them at the correct stage of maturity. So if harvesting naman is delayed, the fruits are susceptible to decay naman, no? So what are this maturity index of banana? So first we can count the number of days from shooting to harvest. So it depends actually on the type of banana, the variety. So this is shown in table 10, as you can see here. For cooking type like cardaba and so on, it would range from 3 to 4 months, no? More or less. And for dessert type naman, like lakatan, latundan, and so on, would range from 2 months to 3-4 months, no? And even for latundan, 1 month lang siya, no? 17 days. Madali lang. So the change also of the angularity of the fingers is also considered for dessert and for some cooking or processing types. So generally, yung fruits of cooking bananas like the BBB, cardaba, or saba, and so on, and AAB plantain, they remain angulars at full maturity. So angular yung kanyang fruit, no? And commercially grown bananas are usually harvested green at varying degrees of maturity. So ang ginagamit nating common index is the fullness of the fruit finger. Pag na-reach na yung size ng fruit fingers. And some cultivars are commonly harvested at the full 3/4 to full stage of maturity, such as lakatan and latundan. So you can you can see here the figure, no? This is 70%, 3/4, 80% full, or 3/4 and 90% full, 3/4 and 100% full. Now these are the fullness of the fingers. So in export naman market, the calibration size is also an indication of the fullness of fingers. So makikita ninyo, they calibrate the size of the fingers, if it's ready for harvest. So harvesting will be done when the diameter of the middle finger of the outer whorl of the second hand falls within the range ng mga 38 to 46 millimeter using caliper. No? So pag na-measure na yan, would range fall under this range. So pwede nang i-harvest. But in the small scale farmers, yung fullness of fingers usually is determined kapag yung leaves is nag-dry na, no? Or dying of the leaves of the styler end. But this is not really applicable to some varieties na susceptible sa leaf spot diseases like sigatoka kasi you have to remove it para mawala yung diseases. So paano natin i-harvest? This is done in the morning because of the heat of the sun, the protection, and the common practice is to cut the pseudostem partially using harvesting tools, partially about 1/3, no, from the top to ensure gradual falling down of a bunch. So a 30 centimeter length in the peduncle is retained for easy handling of the bunch. And makikita nyo mamaya kung paano i-harvest. Ginagamit yung peduncle para doon sa cable. And harvesting of banana cultivars with bigger bunches should be done by a harvester as well as a backer. So dalawa sila, harvester and the backer. Para kasi mabigat, no? The backer carries the bunch on the shoulder pad to prevent the bunch from touching the ground and also to minimize the bruises on infection. So before we proceed to the pest and disease management, we're going to show a video presentation regarding the different cultural practice in banana. So let's have a look. Okay, so actually, I don't know how to development care.
Cheese, chicken, cheese, a this, a shop, beep, beep.
Shop this Doyle.
Paano ko
Ligtas
mapipigilan
ba
ang
ang
pag-aano
bakuna
ng
sa
mga
bakuna
bakuna sa COVID-19?
Hanapin ang mga sagot sa mga katanungan.
Growing top-quality, great-tasting bananas requires a lot of skill and dedication. At Dole, our plants receive individual attention and nurturing during every stage of development. A banana plant flowers and fruits in about 9 months. Bananas are harvested throughout the year, with plants in various stages of their fruiting cycle. In each banana plant flowers and fruits, individual attention and nurturing.
I'm sorry for that. Na-move ako.
Growing top-quality, great-tasting bananas requires a lot of skill and dedication. At Dole, our plants receive individual attention and nurturing during every stage of development. A banana plant flowers and fruits in about 9 months. Bananas are harvested throughout the year, with plants in various stages of their fruiting cycle in each of our fields. The plants require about 9.5 gallons of water a day, and the water table must be kept at a constant depth of about 4 feet. It's vital that a banana plant's roots not sit in water, so a well-designed drainage system for the entire farm is essential. During extreme rains, water is often pumped away from the fields. Banana plants develop specialized protective leaves called bracts, which turn red as they grow on the young fruit stem. At this stage, the bananeros cover the stem with a permeable bag, specifically developed to allow light and air in, but keep insects, disease, wind, and weather out. The bag is tied to the fruit stem with a color-coded ribbon that denotes the expected date of harvest. As the fruit stem matures, the protective bracts turn a deeper color red. Flowers form at the tips of the individual banana fingers. To protect the fruit from damage, some flowers are removed at this stage. Early deflowering is carefully done with scissors. As the fruit grows larger, the protective red bracts are removed, and the banana fingers now curve to grow towards the sun. The remaining flowers are removed by hand. This helps the plant direct more of its nutrients to producing large, equally sized bananas. The bract that contains the male flower, known as a bud, is cut off. Some of the lower banana hands are removed as well. 1 or 2 lower banana fingers are left on the stem. Referred to as heroes, these remaining bananas keep nutrients flowing throughout the bunch, making it less susceptible to disease, fungi, and bacteria. Latex may drip from the bananas and stain the fruit below it. We protect the lower fingers with the use of the diaper, a protective sheath that diminishes scarring during fruit development. At this stage, the plant has grown to be between 12 to 19 feet tall and weighs between 65 of sheath that diminishes scarring during fruit development. At this stage, the plant has grown to be between 12 to 19 feet tall and weighs between 65 to 110 pounds. Unfortunately, these plants can easily snap in half under the heavy weight of their own banana bunches, or can be toppled over by gusty winds or rainstorms. We prevent this by securing each plant to a webbed network of supports that cover the entire banana farm, giving each plant the stability it needs. Crop disease and insects are a constant threat to banana plants. One serious risk to our farms is black sigatoka, a disease carried by airborne spores, which attacks banana leaves and can destroy an entire farm in a matter of weeks. Mature banana plants are tall, with new leaves sprouting from the top center of the plants, so treating them for disease manually is difficult. Instead, they are sprayed from the air. We employ crop protection agents on our farms sparingly and only when necessary. Personnel that utilize crop protection products receive extensive training on their application and are provided with special tools and protective gear. Using GPS technology, specially equipped aircraft spray small amounts of fungicide over the targeted areas. Dole continually strives to develop new environmentally friendly methods of combating the diseases and pests that threaten our crops. It's part of our tradition of encouraging quality and quality and quality through innovation and teamwork. The bananas are now ready for the next step in our process, the harvest.
Okay, so that's for the banana development and care. So good afternoon, Hilandri. So actually, this is just the same content as earlier, no, the 12th session. So this is for those who missed the first sessions, but anyway, you're always welcome not to join anytime. So the next video that I'm going to present is yung dole harvest.
At Dole's Bananito farm in Costa Rica, the combination of perfect growing conditions and sustainable farming techniques allows us to harvest premium bananas year-round. It takes 12 to 13 weeks from the time the banana plant's fruit stem first appears to the time the bananas are harvested. Experienced Dole bananeros measure the banana fingers on each plant to determine if the fruit is ready to harvest. Harvesting takes place 6 days a week. A team of 3 bananeros will harvest the plants in this section of the farm. Bananas are harvested while they are still green, so they can ripen to perfection just as they reach consumers. First, protective foam padding is inserted to safeguard the sensitive banana hands from spotting and other skin damage. The entire stem is cut off with a machete onto the waiting shoulders of a bananero wearing a protective pad. The leaves of the harvested mother plant are cut off, and the remaining stalk provides nutrients to the new daughter plant. The cut leaves are left on the ground where they will become nutrient-rich humus for the next generation of banana plants. The bananero carries the bunch, which weighs about 65 pounds, to the nearby cableway system. Once 75 bunches are harvested and loaded onto the cableway system, the train of banana stems is pulled back to the packing plant at the center of the farm, usually with the aid of a mule. The cableway system encompasses all the fields on our farm and is about 80 miles in total length. As the bunches arrive at the packing station, the protective pads are removed from the hands and sent back to the field to be used again. For quality control, each train of bananas is numbered and the location of the harvest as well as the harvesting team is recorded. The fresh bananas are washed with chlorinated water and thoroughly inspected. If the bananas do not meet Dole's stringent quality standards, harvesting is immediately halted in the field from which they originated. Banana hands are cut from the stem and placed in a tank of water to protect them and to remove the excess latex found naturally in bananas. The leftover banana stems and the protective plastic bags are then recycled. A gentle water current in the tank moves the banana hands to the next station, where they receive another quality inspection and are cut into clusters of 5 to 7 fingers. The clusters float to the next workstation, where they are removed from the water tank and placed on trays. Scales are programmed to accept the correct amount of bananas per shipping carton. The trays are then transported by conveyor to the next workstation, where they receive the worldwide symbol of exceptional quality, the Dole sticker. The cut stems then receive a post-harvest treatment to preserve freshness. The bananas are now ready to be packed into boxes specifically designed for long-distance transport. These boxes are assembled right on site. For quality control, packers personally identify each box they pack. Banana clusters are carefully laid in the box using methods that minimize any damage during shipment. Each box contains about 40 pounds of bananas. The bananas are wrapped in specially perforated material, which allows the fruit to ripen while in the boxes. To meet each customer's specific needs, Dole bananas are packaged several different ways: loose banana hands, single bananas, and sealed in consumer bags. A last weight check ensures that each box contains the correct amount of fruit. The entire process from harvest to box is only 2 to 3 hours. The boxes are then stacked on pallets in preparation for transport. For quality control and traceability throughout the shipping process, each pallet is given its own unique pallet identification code. As part of our commitment to sustainability, the corner boards are made from recycled materials. Sometimes cardboard is used, but usually they are composed of recycled plastic created from the bags utilized to protect our bananas in the field. Once full, the pallets are loaded into shipping containers that will take them to a Dole ship at a nearby port. As you have seen, bananas are quite delicate, so very little of our process is automated. To bring you this healthy, delicious fruit, dedicated workers provide hands-on care and attention at every stage.
Okay, so that's it. So going back to the pest and management system.
The new Spicy Channel with sriracha mayo and jalapeno slices.
Okay, so going back to the different pest and disease management. So we have one for insect pests. We have flower thrips or the thrips florum, and this is a small insect na merong whitish yellow larvae, and this is very tiny and usually it of course can very its oviposition will appear black specks and feeding on the young fruits, which cause the damage. No? And the injuries coalesce as the fruits develop and as injured peels become rough and sometimes crack siya, resulting into blemish called corky scab. And to control this, of course, you are going to use insecticidal solution. No? Or like the chlorpyrifos microencapsulated ethyl parathion, methimidofos, and phosphamidone is injected into the bud mga 3 to 5 days after shooting. So another insect is the red rust thrips or the Caetana thrips signipenis. So it has yellow thorax with 2 dark spots on the back of the larva. And usually the feeding can cause reddish brown discoloration. That's why it's called red rust. No? And the fruits with severe damage may split open because of this. So to control, you should enclose this with chlorpyrifos impregnated polyethylene bags or practice regular sanitation para ma-disrupt yung kanyang life cycle. So the third pest is the aphids or the Pentalonia negronevosa. So it's also a very notorious na vector for viral diseases, no? So this is a wingless aphid with shiny brown color at the dorsal part. And while yung winged aphid, it has a prominent dark wing venation. So usually makikita siya sa lip or between leaf sheath or pseudostem. So feeding on banana sap can transfer the most dreadful banana virus disease such as the Banshee type. So you can apply malathion, phenotructhion, chloropyrifos, or to eradicate the pest. And we also have mealybugs with pinkish color, and usually naga-infest sa fruit and pseudostem. So you can again use insecticides such as chlorpyrifos, diazinon, phenotructhion, and mga impregnated polyethylene bags, no, para or supplement with pseudostem spray pag population are high. Next is the corm weevil. This is a newly emerged corm weevil, reddish brown, and after 1 week it turns black. So this will will lessen uptake ng water and nutrients from the soil. So you have to chop the pseudostem into small pieces para ma-dry and eventually disrupt the breeding of this pest. So you can trap or collect adult weevils and apply insecticide such as the pyrimifos ethyl and the chlorpyrifos granules around the mat of the banana. So we have also scarring weevil or the Phelicoptus iliganus. So the head of the larvae is about light brown and white at the back. So it has a metallic green scales. And the head of the larvae is also light brown while the hind white is, and again, its gold sheen is commonly reflected in the elytra. So they feed near the base of the youngest leaf, which shows ridges and veins on the flower bracts, so thereby destroying them. No, I'll just have to again check the attendance. Okay, so again, to control this, you can use chlorpyrifos impregnated polyethylene bags to protect the fruits from the pests, or you can spray them with a pseudostem, with decamethrin and phenotructhion, or handpick the adult weevils. So other insects such as banana leaf roller or Philippidas trax and scale insect or Apsidotus destructor and bagworm or Eumeta fuscescens are also some, and for its control, you just use insecticide as a last resort. Now we also have nematodes such as the burrowing nematode, now very important for the economic pests of banana. So or the Rhadophilus similis, it's one of the most important root pathogens, and usually this will infect, of course, the roots and and causing it to penetrating in the tissues, then causing it to collapse, no, for the root to really damage. So yung symptoms kasi hindi masyado makita yung nematodes. So may dark spots in the roots, may dark lesion with reddish borders when root is cut lengthwise, or toppling and uprooting of the plant, particularly during strong winds and heavy rains. So pag dali ra siya matumba. And to control this, you have to use first and foremost nematode-free planting material. It's very recommended, and paring the corm superficially to remove yung lesion tissue or expose mo sa sun for 2 weeks for bigger sucker, or hot water treatment mo ng 15 to 20 minutes at 52 to 55 degrees Celsius ng water. So you also have to establish a drainage canal, and you can apply nematicide as chemical control. So aside from the burrowing nematode, we also have root knot nematodes, or the Milodagaini incognita or Javonica. So these are very common. So as again the same damage, it will feed on the roots, making it to collapse and damage. So swollen, galled primary and secondary roots, and root tips are invaded. So to control, again, you use resistant varieties, establish drainage, and nematicide as chemical control. So another nematode is the root lesion, or the Pratylenchus, and it has extensive black or purple necrosis, and resulting into snapping of roots and stunting, decreased bunch weight, long production cycle, toppling, and uprooting. So again, to control this, you have to expose the sucker to direct sunlight for 2 weeks para ma-reduce yung nematode densities, and hot water treatment for 20 minutes using 53 to 55 degrees Celsius water. This will eradicate nematodes, no, and or use nematicides. So for the viral diseases naman, we have the very common banana bunch-attack virus, or BBTV. It's one of the most serious virus diseases of banana, and is transmitted locally by the aphid, no, the Pentalonia nervosa, as mentioned earlier. So to control this one, you will know that it is actually a BBTV if it has a rosette appearance, narrow, upright, and shorter leaves, giving to its name bunch-attack. So the plant is stunted, the leaves are stiff, brittle, the leaf edge roll upwards, showing marginal yellowing. It has dark green streaks on the midrib and on the petiole, extending to the pseudostem. And if it is infected, it will not really produce a bunch yung kanang bunga, no? And maybe deform. So this is what it looks like. Ito yung banana infected with the banana bunch-attack virus, or BBTV. No? So to control this, you have to eradicate talaga the disease plants, kasi wala tayong chemical for virus, no? It's the same with the coronavirus, no? So we have you have to spray surrounding plants within 6-meter radius from disease plants with insecticide para ma-avoid yung aphids, yung kanyang vector, at hindi mahawaan yung buong plantation. And you have to spray the disease plant last, and after 12 to 24 hours, you dig out all plants, chop into small pieces, then allow to dry and cover with soil, or cut the pseudostem to the ground, or stop the growing point of the remaining pseudostem with a herbicide, impregnated bamboo stick, para mamatay yung whole plant. And most importantly, you use talaga virus-free planting material. Avoid intercropping banana with mga alternative hosts like abaca, heliconia, and so on. And regularly inspect talaga yung mga disease plants, no? And control must be practiced across the whole area. And follow strict quarantine regulation. So if the area is infected na already, so kailangan i-quarantine siya. So I guess for the second disease or viral disease, we have to discuss this by next meeting, no? As well as the the post-harvest handling of banana para same tayo ng coverage with the session, no? So, do you have any questions or clarification, Jody, before we end?
Wala na po, ma'am.
Okay, so I hope anyway, although later ka nag-come in, you can always review the video. This is a recorded video, so you can review this in the posted in YouTube or in the posted in our Facebook group. So thank you, Jody, for coming
Thank you,
in.
ma'am.
And
Thank you, ma'am.
I hope to see you again next meeting. Bye-bye.
Bye, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.